Ooh, exciting. So these guys are from the last Arcworlde Kickstarter. This was for the human faction, but there was a few halfling bits and pieces. So I jumped in and just grabbed the halfling stuff. So let's take a look. So the first thing out of the box is this little fleeing halfling civilian. Reminds me very much of the guy out of the old giant kit. Had to get one of them. He is awesome. Next up, we have this sort of mad engineer with a griffling, a robotic or clockwork griffling, a treasure chest full of old parts. This is my sheep cavalry. So 3 halflings on sheep there. This was just as a random aside, because I quite like the scale and size of Alex's minis. I think they're technically like a 32mm scale rather than 28. And I always think unicorns should be huge. So this is a 50mm base, to give you an idea of how big this guy is. And I'm going to use this guy in, not necessarily in Arcworlde. It's just a general unicorn for whenever I need one. If you put a standard 28mm sized figure next to her, you can see the size difference. It is a big old beast. But the way the hooves are done, with these sort of side toes, there's something sort of unnatural and otherworldly about it. And yeah, I think the size only adds to that. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. That's pretty cool. Okay, one thing I do is I make these cork bases for all my halflings. It's something I started doing back around the time of the first Kickstarter. So I've had to sort of keep it up for all these years. So all my halflings bases match. So I'm just taking the snippers and I'm just carefully cutting around his toes to remove the little integral base. And I'm going to trim a little bit further deeper with the knife and then finish it off with this emery board. Okay, so as far as the bases go, he's now based up and ready to run away from anything, including angry unicorns. The treasure chest with its little legs, sort of Discworld luggage style, takes up a whole base like that, and I'm not going to worry too much about the base on that one. And the professor here, look at that stunning model. Alex, if you're watching this, well done, mate. You've stepped up there. That is awesome. And Rob, you've applied your craft to perfection. You really captured these sculpts. That is spot on. So yeah, I'm going to take his base off as well, and I'll make a nice little cork one for him, because that should be fairly easy, just to cut around the rock in his foot, and it'll look quite good, I think. The problem we're going to have is with these sheep. So you've plenty of room to do the sort of cork effects and stuff, but I'm thinking resin to a nice big flat space to put some glue on. That's going to hold it. That's fine. And this is nice tough stuff. I've never had any problem with the Arcworlde resin, but I'm thinking trying to get a pin through there, that's going to weaken it all, and trying to get it all pinned down, and obviously just the hooves themselves is not enough area to glue onto, so I want to keep these bases in this case. So I'm going to have to figure out some way of making these matching the rest of my army, but still staying nice and sturdy. Okay, so I finished up all the basing. Pretty boring on the unicorn here. I just threw a few bits of cork in just to break that up. But the interest on this base will be done afterwards with all sorts of bushes and logs and things to make it look like he's running through a forest. I'm a little bit concerned about how he's only stood on the one leg, but it should be fine. Like I said, this resin is normally pretty good to me. I've added sand to the cork bases. Now the models are still a bit wet from where I gave them a wash, So some of the sand looks like it's stuck to this. I'll wait until they're completely dry. I'll leave them for a few hours, give them a brush down, and all that'll come off. And then with the sheep riders, I've just added some chunks of cork. I'm just neatening up where the sand is on them now. And this is to sort of give the impression that they're in the same sort of terrain, but without having to lift the sheep themselves up. And once again, there's a few bits of sand stuck onto the sheep here, but that's only because it's wet from the just the water from when I give them a wash. Once all this has had time to dry, that'll brush straight off. I'm really liking these ram riders. They are beautiful sculpts, and they are very sort of dynamic, I think. You could have put any of the riders on any of the sheep, but I played around a few times and I preferred them this way around. And my little running away guy, so I think the Tinker wins for detail, but the little running away guy is probably my favourite of this batch. A, because he reminds me of that old giant one, and B, he's great. He can be running away from a charging unicorn, an angry river troll, or even just a pissed off peagriff. But because I want to get this video out today, I'm probably going to leave it here. But keep your eyes peeled, because I'll probably do a painting video on the sheep riders and possibly another one on the tinkerer. So I'll look at them at more detail at that point. If you like the look of these guys, I don't know exactly when they'll be available. As I said, this is the Kickstarter just being delivered now, but I can't imagine it'll be too long before they're available on the website. Link will be in the description, and check out all the other halflings. I mean, I think I own pretty much every halfling from Warploque that Alex has sculpted, so it's always very exciting when I get my hands on some new ones. So go check out Warploque, subscribe if you want to see more of these guys, and as ever, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.